Hello and welcome to StudyIQ, my dear friends. I am Prashant Mavani. Today is 20th March and let's see what we have got in the PIB today. Today we are going to talk about CBI and other agencies that are associated with our criminal justice system. They are failing us. They are not effective and efficient enough. And what are the things that we need to do to change them, because it is very important for our democracy. So this is a special topic for the day. But before that, identify the person that you can see on your screen. The last picture was from Ajmer, Khwaja Garib Nawaz Dargah, and over there you have these two big utensils. They were gifted by Akbar and his son, and they hold a Guinness World Record as well. Moving on, dear friends, you will be able to download the PDF of this lecture from my Facebook page. At present, you get heavy discounts on our pen drive and tablet courses. Your exams are not far, so we have got a test series as well for you guys on our portal, and you get discount on this thing as well. So make sure you check out StudyIQ.com and make the most out of this Navratri sales that are going on at present, which are going to close in near future. Now, first item that we have is coming from Ministry of External Affairs. It is a very sad news for all of us, for the whole nation, particularly for the family of these 39 Indian workers who were killed by ISIS. They were captured back in 2014 when Mosul, a city, a historic city that has a historic connection with our country. I will take you through it as well, but they were captured here in Mosul, that is a big city in Iraq, back in 2014. And at present, Sushma Swaraj, our Minister of External Affairs, she has said, or she has given a free hand to Indian Embassy to do all that is possible and to make this full arrangement so that this mortal remains of this 39 Indian workers are being brought back to our country, and then we can hand it over to the bereaved family members. It's very sad to hear this thing. And ISIS, you know, ISIS is a very aggressive terrorist organization. And the other thing is that in terms of its territory, of course, we have the world community, particularly USA. You have Iraqi forces, and then you have Kurdish people. You have Russia and other countries as well. They are taking, or they are actively pursuing this ISIS people and their groups. But yes, we have seen some results in terms of their decreasing territory. But when it comes to their ideology, the thing is, ISIS was, if you see the whole structure of ISIS, we find that youngsters from different parts of the world, from many developed countries like UK, France, and very shockingly Maldives, right? In terms of population ratio, you find youngsters from Maldives were number one in joining ISIS. And now, because this ISIS has been under radar and it has been going through constant attack in different parts of West Asia, these youngsters are going back, and many of them, they have gone back to their original home country. And now there are high chances, because they are carrying this ideology, they are brainwashed, so they may conduct some terrorist attack back home. And this is one of the most dangerous thing. We need a sort of counter narrative. We need a new ideology in the sense, we need to create this peace and brotherhood message. We have to make sure that our youngsters are not brainwashed, particularly on social networking sites and things like that. So it's more about ideological battle that we have to take when it comes to ISIS. And here is a timeline. I found these pictures on Times of India, and I thought, let me share it with you guys. It is very you can say it is all important details. You find it on your screen. You can see Mosul, you can see Erbil. Erbil is a big city as well, famous for oil and other things. And Mosul again is a very historic city. It used to be a very big city and populated city, but at present it is literally destroyed. It is just a concrete, you can say, desert over there that you find, right? Looks like a haunted place. Back in 2014, ISIS took over this place, and since then it has butchered many people, it has killed many people. And the thing is, there is a person called this Harjit Masih. Harjit Masih is from India. He was also captured over there. He said, as per his version, he survived, he escaped this thing by claiming that he was a Bangladeshi citizen, and he escaped. And when he reached India, he said that our 39 people are being killed by ISIS. But the thing is, a government who is getting valuable inputs from heads of states, or you can say presidents and prime minister from different countries, and if they are claiming that they have intelligence report that this 39 people from India are still alive, then you cannot declare them dead, isn't it? Without solid evidence, a country will not declare its captured citizens as dead, and the same thing was followed by India as well. But now we have got this final evidence. We used this deep penetrating radars, and there was a small, you can say a small hill sort of, a small mount, sand mount sort of thing, and we used this radars and things like that. Means deep penetrating radars were used, and then we found that there was a mass grave in it, and finally it was excavated, and with the help of local authorities, of course, because now Mosul is under Iraq or the state government's control, right? Just like India, they also have this province or state governments, and here you can see Mosul. I was talking about this historical relationship. If we go back in our history, then I'm sure you might have heard about this textile material called muslin. Now this muslin derived or got its name from this city of Mosul. It was quite famous over there. It was exported to different parts of the world from here, and basically this muslin is from our country India. A very fine and a very refined cotton material, if I'm not wrong. It's not silk, it's made of cotton as far as I know, but it was quite famous. So this indicates that we used to have a historical trade relationship with Mosul or Iraq. Then we have talked about this Mesopotamia, right? A contemporary of Indus Valley. This society was there, very diverse society. If you study about Mesopotamia, then you find it was very diverse, different in different parts. They used to practice different religion. We find many important, you can say, old temples over here, right? We find many historical items over here, but sadly ISIS has destroyed all these valuable items and valuable historical things. Here you can see this is the latest one I can get. It is from 2017, October 2017, so nearly you can say 6 months old item, but things have changed a little bit, but predominantly at present, as far as Mosul and other big cities are concerned, it is under the territory of Iraqi government. You have some Kurdish force as well. You know, this referendum we have discussed about referendum. A special video lecture as well is available for you guys if you want to know more about this Kurdish force and other things associated with it. It is available on our YouTube channel. So Iraqi government, now they are in control of this Mosul, and ISIS is out of it. So it was now when I say now, I'm talking about a couple of months ago, we started aggressive hunting or search operation to find our 39 Indian workers. Now very sadly, as you know, the news is out now, and I must say, add one thing here, that government of India tried everything. We have left no stone unturned. We have tried every trick in the book to make sure that we can get them back safely, but something unfortunately, right, this is something that we cannot control, right? Something that is not in our hand, particularly when Iraqi government was also not in charge of this Mosul city. DNA samples and other things means DNA and other scientific methods are used to determine that they are the ones, this 39 people. And VK Singh, who is the junior MEA, he will personally go there and he will bring back this mortal remains. With this, dear friends, HRD ministry has got a very important news for us in terms of education. University Grants Commission will grant autonomy to 62 higher education institutions because they have got more than 3.26 ranking, right? Their quality score is 3.26 or plus, and this is given by this NEC committee. NEC goes through all these different universities and higher education institution, and based on different criteria it will give this ranking. So if you have 3.26 or plus, then you are given full autonomy, so you can design your own course, and you know, you can have your own syllabus and things like that. So this will of course provide a very challenging environment for our youngsters, for our students, and this will eventually benefit our students. We would be able to create quality human resources, human capital, and then we will also see this healthy competition taking place between the 62 higher education institutions. So eventually other institutions will try to get this autonomy. So eventually we will see that everything is going to be a sort of win-win situation. Moving on to another item, very important for your understanding on economy, how it works and how demand and supply. Very practical example here. Basically, Central Board of Excise and Custom, or you can say the government, has decided to scrap this export duty on raw, refined, or you can say this refined or white sugar. And see, when you remove this export duty, basically the time when you do it is when you are sure that your domestic requirements will be taken care of. So once we have a good amount of production that is enough for our domestic consumption, and if you find that in international market, if the demand of this sugar is there, so of course you can sell it at bit higher prices, isn't it? So when you remove this sort of barriers, when you add 20%, it was 20% export duty. So you can understand, if the sugar cost is 100 rupees per kilo, for example, then 20% addition on it will make it 120. So literally impractical for us to sell it in international market. So this is how government creates a sort of barrier, so that the stock remains in our market, so that price rise does not take place here. Once our domestic market is satisfied, then we can open the doors for exports and other things. And many times you find import duties are applied as well, so that if other countries, if they have this excessive production or surplus production, then if they are selling their surplus over here, then the prices will go down and it will be a big loss for our farmers. So this is how demand and supply works, and make sure that this sort of changes are being applied by Central Board of Excise and Custom. With this, Prime Minister Modi had a telephonic conversation with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Basically, he congratulated Xi Jinping on his re-election. He also talked about this 21st century as Asian century, and it is important for both of us, China and India, to work together and to maintain peace and good relationship with each other. Only then we can fulfill this 21st century dream of Asia, or Asian century dream of 21st century. With this, Turkey is in news again, and it is basically United Nations is not happy with the things that are going on in Turkey at present. Human rights violation is rampant in Turkey. Back in history, 2016, there was a military coup that took place, an attempt to take over the government took place back in 2016, and it was basically a failed coup. So since then, this Recep Tayyip, who is the president of Turkey, he has been very aggressive. His new policy, or the way he is handling this whole situation, is bit with, you can say, iron fist, and it is crushing human rights. It is basically snatching away, or has already taken away, fundamental rights, United Nations rights and things like that from the people of Turkey. It is a very Turkey was famous for being a very modern Islamic country, but since this 2016 we have seen extra power in the hand of the president. Apart from that, we have also seen that violations, human rights violations, have gone up and things like that. At present, you can imagine that 110,000 people are dismissed from public sector jobs, and 10,000, tens of thousands, many thousand people are killed as well, and many are behind the bars without any lawyer service. Moving on, a vice president has you can say advised IPS and IAS officers, or he has advised people, or basically he was addressing this revenue officers, but this is something that you can take as a life lesson, as a thing for your mains examination, for your interview. The thing is, language, right? Local language is very important for aspirants as well as officers who are in all India services, because it is all India services, IAS, IPS and Indian Forest Services. These are the three all India services in our country, and hopefully when you will get selected, you will be coming from a particular state, but you would be working in different state altogether. So you have to learn local language, then only you can perform effectively. The other thing is that the more language we learn, it's not just about language. It is, we are also learning how, means way of life of the people in different parts of our country. At the end of the day, we are one country. We have different language, we have different food items and different way of life, but we are under one constitution, one country. And here I would like to add that many a times we find that people do have this stereotypes, right? They believe, or they say this thing, and they spread this message that people speaking this particular language are rude, or people speaking this particular language are not well educated, and things like this are all stereotypes. It's just like fake news, right? And stereotypes are fake as well. Every one of us is unique, every language is beautiful, right? It is the stereotype because of which we feel that this is right or wrong and things like that. Many a times it is illusion only. So as a civil services aspirant, it is very important for you guys to observe. If you have any stereotype, then you should check this thing, because this sort of things are very detrimental for you, or you can say it will be very, you can say, not so supportive for your interview personality test. They do go through all these things. They will at the end of the day check whether you are fit for being a civil servant or not. And stereotypes and prejudice, and these are the things that are so subtle, right? It is very difficult to catch them. So you have to increase your observation power, and of course studying and learning new ideas will help you a lot, and practical experiences of course will help you a lot. Now with this Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizers, the government of India is going to set up a plastic park in Deoghar district in Jharkhand, and 120 crore rupees plastic park will be set up in 150 acre, and you can produce many different items. Now we need more reusable, more durable items from plastic. We need to get rid of this one-time use like polythene bags and other plastic items, because they are the ones, these items basically create this rubbish, right? The plastic waste. So we need to refine it, we need to recycle it and use it and make it into, or convert it into a more durable items that we can use again and again. So in this way we can reduce this plastic waste. The other thing is that this plastic park will of course attract private investment, and that's what we need. We need to collect all this plastic park. We can build roads, you know, nowadays you can build plastic roads. In India as well we have many good examples of plastic roads. They are weatherproof, all weather roads, and this is something that we need. In this way we can consume this waste material, and then converting basically waste into wealth is something that we can do with this type of big parks. It will create direct and indirect jobs. Another 3.5 crore plastic recycling unit will be also set up here in Deoghar. You find that Deoghar is a big tourist destination. 5 crore tourists come here per year, every year. And scientific recycling methods can help us in fighting this plastic pollution. Moving on to last item, and this is the topic of our main discussion or focus topic, is this paper tiger. I have given this name to our criminal justice system, not criminal justice system, but this agencies, this prosecuting agencies and investigating agencies that are associated with our criminal justice system. The reason why I term them paper tiger or toothless is because you find this in this Maran brothers case of 2000. Basically this case is associated with this Tamil Nadu brothers, Maran brothers, and one of the brother was telecom minister, the other one was running a business of television and cable. There was a clear conflict of interest, but then as well we failed, the CBI failed in securing this Maran brothers conviction. They are free now. Karnataka police also failed. It's not just about CBI but police as well. You see, they failed to convict this Sri Ram Sena leader. I don't know whether you remember this case, but back in 2009 this Sri Ram Sena leader Pramod and his followers, they entered a pub and they basically used violence. Their argument is that these people who are going in pub, like particularly women lot, they are doing something that is against our Indian culture and things like that, and they used this force and violence and other things. And all these things was videographed. We had this video evidence and things, but then as well we were not able to, this Karnataka police was not able to convict or to prove that they are associated with it. They are free now. Then we also see these witnesses turning hostile because we are not able to provide them a protective environment. Hostile basically means they will change their statement in the court. Then you have this Makkah Masjid blast case. Principal accused, he went missing from the court records, and so these are the things. There are many other cases as well, but these are enough, I believe, to prove that our agencies are basically, this investigating and prosecuting agencies are are toothless or paper tiger. These criminals, big criminals, are not afraid of them. They know a way out. The only way we can change this thing is by providing them more independence. We have to release this parrot from the cage, and we have to make it or convert it into a professional agency that is reporting directly to the executive and committee of the legislature, and also Human Rights Commission, because we many times find torture and other things. Now, if you talk about CBI, the thing is that Indian Police Service, right, is the main, you can say, service that is staffing this CBI, and in IPS cadre you find this, or in this IPS world, all those, means in all India services you have this central deputation, and it is well known that you get good posting at central level if you are having your name in the good books of politicians at state level. So for that you have to do, you have to provide them favors, and you have to many times close your eyes to wrongdoings and things like that. So because of this thing, you can understand that their whole service or their whole pledge that they take is compromised, and it impacts our democracy and other things. So what we need is, we need this CBI to report directly to Law and Justice Ministry. We want them to, if they report directly to Law and Justice Ministry and not this Department of Personnel and Training and PMO, apart from that, we need that it's not, means CBI should recruit and train its personnel independently. It should not borrow people from Indian Police Services, and it should be brought under this parliamentary oversight as well. The Standing Committee on Law and Justice should look after this CBI's performance, and all these international crime cases, interstate cases, should automatically go to CBI rather than waiting for central government or the state government to give a green signal. State government can have their own say. If they decide that something should be given to CBI, then yes, that can be done. But at the same time, we need this groundwork forces like this police force or CID, right? They should be made more independent. They should be provided more teeth and claws to them, so that they can become a bit more professional when it comes to investigation. Only then we would be able to sort out these problems. I hope things are clear to you now. These are your questions. The answer, something went wrong with my PPT, but I saw the video and of course you can understand it's difficult for me to remember the questions, but I was knowing the answer. The answer is B and B, right? Playa and not refused, this Awad's Nawab. So this B and B is the answer, and these are your pen drive and tablet courses. Make sure you make the most out of this discount that is available, and that's everything. I'll see you all soon. Enjoy your studies. Jai Hind.